All right, let's talk about Bo Nix here in the Denver Broncos, who, hey, you got the win. You feel good about that, and, you're almost certainly going to make the playoffs at this point. However, I think it is fair to say as well, this was not the best performance that the Broncos have had this season. This was an off day by Bo Nix, and I want to talk about what went wrong, what are some potential concerns for the rest of the season, and then what are some positives as well, because like I said, hey, they won the game. You can only be too upset about winning a big game against another playoff hopeful team. Let's start off with a couple positives, actually, because there are some things that Nix, even in his off days, does really well. One of those is key scrambles. Here it's a 3rd down and 5. It's man coverage that the Colts are in, and really it's almost like you just can't really do this against the Broncos. Because watch how when this play begins, you're going to see right here, there is a running lane for him. The Colts, again, if you're going to pass rush Bo Nix in these situations, you have to be smart about it. You have to make sure that you don't give up this kind of running lane because it's man coverage behind you. And that means that, only 2 defenders that aren't defensive linemen are watching Nix. Nix, to his credit, reads this so well. Watch him move up. And again, he essentially changes how you have to play defense against him. And whenever you get a quarterback like that, it's definitely a good thing. There was also definitely some really good Sean Payton stuff here, like this play. It's a zone coverage concept. They're going to run a play action, have a tight end go more over the middle. And when this play begins, it just works really well. Indianapolis is definitely fooled, and no one gets back to cover the tight end. A bit of a blown coverage here by the Colts, but set up due to the play action, right? And set up due to, run the ball, and now you run the play fake off of it. Colts aren't quite ready, aren't communicating quick enough. Nix does make an accurate throw, and they're able to get a touchdown. So yeah, want to start off with positives, because there were some positives here. Let's be honest, there were a lot of negatives. This was not a clean game by the Broncos. This play, very early on in the game, just midway through the first quarter, was a bad play, a really bad play by Nix, which is weird. So it's a zone coverage concept. The way this play is designed to work is a good concept against this coverage. You have a player who runs a deep route, usually that can push the middle linebacker further deep. Therefore, the over-the-middle route, that's one that could potentially get open. Okay, that's what they're hoping happens here. However, when Nix gets over there and looks into this read, honestly, if anything, the Colts player I've circled has overcommitted to this route, and now more over the middle could be open. He's covered up this route that I've circled. This is just, I don't know why Nix made this throw. I have no idea other than he just got too locked on to his pre-snap read. I actually think what might have happened was he actually looked on the other side of the field to start the play. I think he just saw the coverage, said, oh, that means that the over-the-middle route's probably open, looks over there, and just fired before really making sure it was open. Either way, it's a bad rookie mistake there, and because of it, it gets intercepted. So, yeah, that wasn't ideal, and again, this is one of 3 interceptions that we saw from Nix. One of the other interceptions actually was, I don't believe was his fault. It's this play, and it looks ugly, but just let's talk about what happened. So it's a 3rd down and 1. They're going to run a play action, and this is just, starting the second half. You're down 6 points, but hey, get a nice drive here, get into the end zone. You can take the lead. As you see, Nix is going to run to play action, looks down the field. Courtland Sutton is open. There is a window right here for him. The issue is that Nix thinks he's going to be running further deep. You saw after this play, Sean Payton was kind of yelling at Courtland Sutton. Yelling is too harsh, but he was getting into Courtland Sutton. So he blamed Sutton. If Sean Payton is blaming Sutton, I'm assuming it was Sutton's fault, not Nix's fault. But either way, the throw goes too far deep. So it's a mistake by Sutton, and it's a mistake that can't happen. These guys have to get on the same page because, again, what ended up happening was Jonathan Taylor let go of the football at the 1-yard line, would have had a touchdown, and then you would have been down 13 points, really have to try and make something happen, completely changes the game. So, you have to imagine if you're playing Kansas City in the playoffs, if you're playing Buffalo in the playoffs, they're not going to bail you out the way the Colts did. So, mistake they have to clean up. And then we'll just go to the 3rd interception. Why not? Get them all out of the way in this one chunk of the video. This is another one I would qualify as a rookie mistake. It's a cover 2 zone, which is what the Colts ran a lot this game. Colts like cover 2 zone, and it's a coverage that sometimes it actually gives rookie quarterbacks more trouble than you would think. Even though it's a pretty simple coverage, like you see the route on the screen, oh, this should work against cover 2, right? Well, the issue is that the windows are just smaller here, and you have to pay attention to. So Nix is making this throw, and you see the safety is cutting in, jumping this route, which is something that I think a veteran quarterback would notice. I think Matthew Stafford would notice this and go to a different read. But it's just, you have to be so much more precise. And when you're a rookie quarterback who, again, he's played so well for a rookie, we kind of forget he is a rookie. But the reality is he just doesn't have that many reps in this situation, and this isn't something that maybe he's ever even seen before, so it's understandable that he could, just misread it, not realize that the good athlete NFL player can rush over and make a play. As you see, it does get intercepted, though. So again, rookie mistake there, and it kind of created the same thing as the other play earlier, right, where it gives Denver a chance to, gives the Colts a chance to go up 2 scores. Now again, Denver defense was able to hold, give them credit, but yeah, not an ideal play there. As for some of the other issues, a lot of it wasn't really Nix's fault, I didn't think. The turnovers were his fault. 2 out of 3 turnovers were his fault. He has to be better on those. But a lot of it was just something like this, where it's going to be, again, a cover 2 zone on a 3rd down and 5 here for the Broncos. Nix takes the snap. He's going to, start to roll out towards the top of the screen and is a bit under pressure right here. Looks down the field, doesn't love what he sees. This is what was happening a lot, is he didn't feel comfortable pushing the ball down the field, which makes sense. It's cover 2 zone. It's hard to push the ball down the field in that situation. So what do? Well, you find a check down. Here, though, the check down just doesn't work. Even when the check downs worked, they weren't working for first downs. They were usually working to give you a 4th down and have to punt anyway. So, what would have happened here? Even if it was caught, it wasn't going for the first. So, too much of that happened. Denver, at the end of the day, can struggle sometimes to get open. It just is what it is. This play, too, was a good example of sometimes plays should have maybe been working. So you see Bo Nix runs this play action, and due to the play action, just has all day to throw the football. So because of that, he's going to decide to step up, and he's going to take a chance trying to get the ball down the field here. This is just a jump ball, which honestly, I think I'm fine with this decision. It's 2nd down and 11. You have Courtland Sutton, who's really good in these spots. Sure, why not take a chance? And here, Sutton had that one, right? Just couldn't quite make the grab. There were a couple of plays I thought his receivers had a chance to make the play and just weren't quite able to do it. If Sutton makes that catch, okay, we feel differently about Nix's performance. There was a couple of those. So I'm not calling it a drop or anything, because it was a tough play by Sutton, but it's one he could have made. And to Sutton's performance in a play that I'm not going to say they had to make, but this was a dagger where the Colts are currently down 11 points, so a field goal technically gives them a chance. They weren't going to score 2 touchdowns in the final 6 minutes, but you would like to make sure that even if they do, you're going to win. So you want to get into the end zone. 3rd and 6, Courtland Sutton one-on-one on the outside. Watch here as Bo Nix takes a snap, looks in that direction. It's a great route by Sutton. He faked as though he was going more over the middle. Look at how open he gets here. So, for Nix, again, most of his highlights were kind of hitting open guys, but still, you got to make these throws. As you see, he does make the throws. So, I think that for Nix, again, I don't really blame him for why the offense wasn't able to work consistently in this game. He did make a couple of plays, especially with his legs. The turnovers do have to, that can't happen. Even if you want to say one of them wasn't his fault, which I do, 2 interceptions in this game is too many. Really, again, if you're going to beat some of the best teams in the league, you have to play a little better than that. That's at least what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.